America, the land of freedom. What if I told you that the American dream exists, but not in the way you imagine? There are places in the United States that few know about, places that defy logic, hiding fascinating secrets. But beware, what you'll see here might change your perspective forever. You're about to discover the 10 most incredible places in the United States. And by the end of this documentary, your view of the American dream will never be the same. Ready to see the United States in a way no one has ever shown you? This vast and diverse country was founded on ideals that still echo today. A land of dreams where anything seems possible. A land of contrasts and endless possibilities. It's the stage for some of the world's greatest cultural, historical, and natural wonders, carrying the spirit of freedom and opportunity since its founding. Every corner of this nation holds fascinating stories, breathtaking landscapes, and milestones that shaped the American identity. Now, get ready to explore the soul of this country. Dive into the scenes that paint America, from streets lit by dreams to vast horizons where nature reigns in its purest, wildest form. What we find within these borders isn't just geography, it's living history, immersive culture, and an overwhelming force that continues to shape the future. Every place, every culture, every sound, and every image we'll see reflects the complex layers that make up this great American nation. In this documentary, you'll be transported through a mosaic of experiences, from the hustle of big cities to the awe-inspiring silence of mountains and valleys. Get ready to marvel, reflect, and feel moved as we uncover the secrets and beauties of a land that always has something to teach. The journey about to begin isn't just about a destination, it's about the very heart of America. From the relentless buzz of big cities to the tranquility of its most remote landscapes, America offers an unmatched spectacle. In every street, square, field, and park, we can feel the heartbeat of the history that built this nation. A country that throughout its journey learned to balance the boldness of innovation with the vastness of its natural roots. But what makes America, and more specifically New York, the place it is today? What stories does its land hold? What secrets echo among its mountains, rivers, and cities? That's what we're about to find out. And before we start, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and ready to join us on this adventure. Turn on the notification bell, because the path ahead is fascinating and just getting started. Our journey begins here, right in the heart of the United States. A well-kept secret, a story few dare to tell. Get ready, What you're about to discover might change how you see the city that never sleeps. New York, the cultural and natural heart of the United States. Get ready for a journey that starts at the center of the modern world, New York. The city that never sleeps, pulses with energy, art, and history. Its streets are more than concrete and asphalt. They're the veins of a living organism that breathes culture, innovation, and dreams. Picture yourself walking the sidewalks of Manhattan, the vibrant heart of this metropolis. Every corner is a spectacle, from the dazzling billboards of Times Square to the majestic architecture of the Empire State Building. Did you know this icon was built in just 13 months, even during the Great Depression? It's a feat that embodies American resilience. As you stroll down Broadway, it's impossible not to feel inspired by the stories told in the world's most famous theaters. The Phantom of the Opera, Hamilton, and so many other productions are more than shows. They're windows into the human soul. In Central Park, art and nature blend in perfect harmony. Century-old trees sway to the music of street performers, while the iconic lake reflects both the sky and the dreams of those passing by. And in the distance, one of the greatest symbols of freedom and hope emerges, the Statue of Liberty. Majestic and imposing, she raises her torch like a beacon to the world, reminding us that New York has always been a safe haven for those seeking a fresh start. Since 1886, this colossal work of art has been the first sight for millions of immigrants arriving in the United States, full of dreams and uncertainty. Her gaze toward the horizon seems to say that nothing is impossible for those who believe. More than a monument, the Statue of Liberty carries deep meaning. Her 7 rays represent the 7 continents and oceans, a reminder that freedom is a universal ideal. At her feet, the famous plaque reads, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." That inscription echoes as an eternal call to those longing for a better future. Amid modern skyscrapers, she stands as an unshakable testament to the American spirit. And then, just when we think New York has revealed all its secrets, the grandeur of Niagara Falls emerges in the northern part of the state. Here, the scenery shifts entirely. It's as if nature itself decided to prove it can be an artist too. The waters crash with a force that seems to echo like the voice of God, reminding us of the overwhelming power of His creation. Can you imagine what it must have been like for the native peoples who lived in this region for thousands of years? For them, the falls weren't just a natural wonder, they were a sacred place, rich with symbolism and spirituality. Today, though the falls have been partly tamed by human engineering, they still retain their untamed essence. Have you ever stood in a place that made you feel small before nature's grandeur? Which of these two worlds, New York's urban jungle or the wild majesty of the falls, captures your imagination more? We're curious to hear how you see these wonders. Now, leaving the whirlwind of the falls behind, we follow the path to a completely different yet equally vibrant destination. Let yourself be swept away by the lights, sounds, and energy of a place where the impossible seems to happen daily. Get ready to explore the city that redefined entertainment and luxury, Las Vegas. How did a patch of desert become one of the planet's most coveted destinations? What stories hide behind the lights that never fade? Now, we'll dive into the glow and magic of a city that outgrew its initial fame to become a mecca of dreams and excess. Las Vegas, the city of entertainment and luxury. In the middle of Nevada's vast desert rises a city that defies all logic. Las Vegas, known as Sin City, is a place where human imagination found fertile ground to create an oasis of luxury, extravagance, and fun. Beneath its ceaselessly glowing lights, lives transform, dreams come true, or vanish in the blink of an eye. Las Vegas's story begins humbly as a small stopover in the desert for weary travelers. In the early 20th century, no one could have predicted what it would become. It was in 1931, with the legalization of gambling in Nevada, that the city's fate began to shift. Soon, visionary entrepreneurs saw the potential to create something far greater. Thus, the first casinos and resorts were born, ushering in an era that would redefine entertainment. Look closely. This is the Las Vegas Strip, one of the world's most famous boulevards, where grandeur shines in every detail. It's impossible not to be awestruck by Caesar's Palace, where Roman columns and marble statues evoke the glory of ancient Rome. Across the street, the Eiffel Tower at Paris, Las Vegas, invites you to stroll through a France reimagined in the desert. As night falls, the Bellagio fountains dance to classical music, offering a free spectacle that thrills visitors of all ages. Amid the flashy facades lie fascinating stories. For instance, at the legendary Flamingo Hotel, founded by Bugsy Siegel, you'll find echoes of an era when mobsters turned the desert into a playground for the elite. The aura of mystery and glamour lingers to this day, as casinos remain a focal point for those looking to test their luck. And speaking of luck, did you know Las Vegas is much more than gambling? The city is a hub of unique experiences. From shows by legendary artists like Celine Dion and Elton John to magicians who make audiences question reality, Las Vegas offers entertainment that transcends the ordinary. There's something almost mystical about how this city captures the hearts of its visitors. But it's not just the dazzling lights that make Las Vegas special. On the city's outskirts, Red Rock Canyon reveals a striking contrast. Its rock formations, painted in vivid reds, remind us that nature still claims its space amid modernity. Walking its trails immerses you in an untouched landscape where the silence is broken only by the sound of the wind. It's hard to believe that just a few miles away, Las Vegas's bustle roars on. And now, a reflection for you. What would it be like to live in a place where the extraordinary is the norm? Where every night feels like a celebration of life? That's the magic of Las Vegas, a place that defies monotony and embraces the unexpected. As we bid farewell to the city that never sleeps, pay attention to the shift from modern extravagance to the roots of American history. Our next destination takes us to Washington, D.C., a place where the ideals of freedom and democracy are etched in marble and bronze. Get ready to walk among monuments that tell the story of an entire nation. Washington, D.C., and its historic monuments. Welcome to the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C., a place where the weight of history is felt on every corner. Here, the ideals of freedom, justice, and democracy take shape in monuments that inspire millions of visitors each year. But don't be fooled. Behind the imposing facades and gleaming marble lie stories of sacrifice, courage, and determination that forged a nation. Our journey begins at the vibrant heart of the city, the National Mall, a vast expanse surrounded by some of the country's most iconic landmarks. You can't ignore the grandeur of the Capitol, the building where Congress meets to make decisions that impact not just the United States, but the entire world. Its white domes reflect not only neoclassical architecture inspired by ancient Greek temples, but also the promise of a living, thriving democracy. At the opposite end of the National Mall, the Lincoln Memorial rises like a sanctuary dedicated to one of America's greatest leaders. Climb its steps and you'll find yourself before the colossal statue of Abraham Lincoln, seated in a pose of reflection. His words, etched into the walls around him, resonate with the core principles of equality and freedom. It's impossible not to feel a chill reading the Gettysburg Address, reaffirming that all men are created equal. How about a leap through time? Picture yourself walking through Washington during the height of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. The Lincoln Memorial was the stage for one of history's most powerful speeches. "I Have a Dream," delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. The echo of those words still resonates, not just in the United States, but across the world, as a call for equality and justice. Continuing along the mall, we reach the World War II Memorial, a moving tribute to the over 400,000 Americans who gave their lives during the conflict. Its central fountains and granite columns symbolize the unity of a nation that rose up in a time of global crisis. Walking there, it's as if every stone whispers tales of bravery and sacrifice. Now, let me ask you directly, what do these monuments mean to you? Even for someone who isn't American, these memorials serve as a universal reminder of the value of freedom, the importance of fighting for ideals, and the impact history has on our lives. They invite us to reflect on our role as global citizens and how we can build a fairer future. But Washington, D.C. isn't made of just marble and bronze. Walk a bit further and you'll find the White House, the official residence of every U.S. president since John Adams. Though a symbol of executive power, this building also carries moments of vulnerability. In 1814, during the War of 1812, the White House was burned by British troops. But like a phoenix rising from the ashes, it was rebuilt, symbolizing the resilience of a young nation. For science and exploration lovers, the Smithsonian Institution is an irresistible invitation. This museum complex houses everything from the space capsule that took man to the moon to dinosaur fossils that transport us millions of years into the past. No matter your age or interests, the Smithsonian reminds us how vast human knowledge is and how every discovery has the potential to transform our understanding of the world. Now, a heads up. As you wander through Washington, prepare to be flooded with deep emotions. It's as if every monument, every memorial, every stone speaks directly to your soul, inviting you to reflect on your own journey and place in history. As we say goodbye to Washington, D.C., a new destination awaits. Our next stop is one of America's most iconic road trips, a highway that's more than just asphalt and signs. Get ready to hit the legendary Route 66, where every curve tells a story, and every mile celebrates the adventurous spirit that defines America. Route 66, the Highway of Freedom. Welcome to the road that became a legend, a symbol of the American dream and the freedom to come and go. Route 66 isn't just a stretch of pavement, it's an artery that pulsed with the life, struggles, and triumphs of entire generations. Known as the Mother Road, Route 66 connects the heart of the United States, cutting through 8 states and revealing a unique landscape of vistas, cultures, and stories. Picture yourself in 1926, when Route 66 was officially opened. Back then, the country was in the midst of transformation. Industrialization was booming and the automobile was becoming part of daily life. The highway promised more than just a trip. It represented a link between East and West, small towns and big cities, the present and the future. Take the wheel and join the journey starting in Chicago, Illinois. Beneath the skyscrapers of this vibrant city, Route 66 emerges as a promise of adventure. Crossing the Midwest plains, you'll find towns that seem frozen in time, with classic motels, neon-lit diners, and auto shops that have witnessed decades of road stories. Here, You feel the pioneer spirit of travelers who brave dirt roads and rain to reach their destinations. Every stop at a gas station or roadside diner was a chance to recharge and hear tales. And speaking of stories, let me share one. During the Great Depression in the 1930s, Route 66 was a lifeline for thousands of families. Many fled the devastating drought that hit the Central Unit States, especially the Dust Bowl. With all they owned tied to old trucks, they headed to California seeking a new shot at life. Route 66 became more than a road. It was a path of hope. As you head west, the road transforms. The flat Midwest terrain gives way to the rugged landscapes of the Southwest. In Texas, you'll find Cadillac Ranch, an open-air art installation where classic cars are buried in the ground, creating a surreal spectacle. Further along in New Mexico and Arizona, deserts paint the horizon in shades of red and orange, and the sky feels endless. And then, one of Route 66's most dramatic stretches emerges, the Grand Canyon. And though it's slightly off the main route, it's a must-see detour. Here, the grandeur of God's creation unfolds in full. The rock layers tell a story dating back billions of years, a reminder of how small we are before nature's vastness. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for Route 66. In the 1980s, it was officially decommissioned, replaced by faster, more efficient interstate highways. Many feared the road, and all it stood for would vanish forever. But as with legends, Route 66 refused to be forgotten. Preservation movements and enthusiasts banded together to keep the Mother Road's spirit alive. Today, restored stretches and revitalized attractions continue to draw travelers from around the globe. Now, let me ask you, what drives you to hit the road? Is it the longing for freedom, the search for new experiences? Or maybe, like so many who traveled Route 66 before you, it's the need to rediscover yourself. Tell us in the comments. We're curious to hear what you think of this journey. Arriving at the end of this legendary trip, the road leads us to Santa Monica, California, where the iconic End of the Trail sign marks the finish of Route 66. The Pacific breeze carries the satisfaction of completing an epic journey, but also a call to keep exploring, dreaming, and living boldly. And speaking of fresh starts, our next destination takes us to a place as vibrant as it is sunny, Florida. Get ready to dive into a state where paradise beaches, magical theme parks, and a rich cultural tapestry await. The adventure is just beginning. Florida, the land of sun and dreams. Welcome to Florida, one of the most iconic states in the United States, known as the Sunshine State. This is a place where lush nature, paradise beaches, and vibrant urban scenes meet in fascinating harmony. Here, every corner holds epic stories and landscapes that feel like a dream. Get ready to explore a destination that captivates travelers of all ages and backgrounds, but above all, prepare to be surprised by the unexpected. Our journey begins on the stunning Atlantic coast. Picture the golden sands and crystal clear waters of Miami Beach. Under the radiant sun, life here buzzes with energy. For decades, Miami has become a global icon of sophistication and cultural diversity. In the 80s, the city transformed into a vibrant melting pot of Latin American cultures, especially Cuban, shaping its architecture, music, and cuisine. Did you know that the famous Little Havana neighborhood is much more than a tourist spot? It's a place where stories of resilience come alive. Imagine families fleeing oppressive regimes, arriving here with little more than hope. Today, Little Havana's streets ring with salsa music, the aroma of Cuban coffee, and the energy of a people who never lost faith. And what about Key West, the southernmost point of the continental United States? This charming island is a haven of peace and inspiration. It was here that Ernest Hemingway found the calm to create some of his greatest works. Walking its narrow streets past pastel-painted wooden houses, time seems to slow down. There's magic in the air, a sense of being in a world apart. But Florida isn't just beaches and lively cities. Let's venture into the wild heart of the state, the Everglades. This vast swamp is a unique ecosystem, home to incredible species like the American alligator and the Florida panther. This is a place where divine creation shines in all its complexity. The landscape feels like a living painting, with silence broken only by the sounds of nature in its purest form. Here I'd like to pause and ask, have you ever stopped to reflect on nature's grandeur? How is it possible that amidst so much modernity and technology, places this pristine and mysterious still exist? The Everglades are a reminder that creation's beauty surrounds us, waiting to be admired and protected. And of course, we can't talk about Florida without mentioning its iconic theme parks. Orlando is the epicenter of dreams and imagination, with world-famous spots like Walt Disney World and Universal Studios. These parks aren't just tourist destinations. They're stages of magic where adults become kids again, and kids learn that fantasy can come to life. Here's a fascinating tidbit. When Universal Studios decided to bring the world of Harry Potter to life, the mission was clear. It couldn't just be an attraction, but a full immersion. Every brick of Hogwarts Castle was meticulously designed to recreate the magic of the films, from enchanted corridors to Gringotts Wizarding Bank. Today, walking through Hogsmeade or boarding the Hogwarts Express feels like stepping through a portal into a magical universe. where every detail, sound and scent transports visitors into the story. As we explore Florida, we also uncover its rich history. St. Augustine, for example, is the oldest city in the United States, founded by the Spanish in 1565. Its cobblestone streets, fortresses, and ancient churches tell tales of conquistadors, pirates, and settlers. The Castillo de San Marcos, with its coquina walls, still stands as a testament to resilience and ingenuity. Now, as sunlight reflects off crystal-clear seas and palm trees sway in the breeze, it's time to look toward a completely different destination. Florida showed us the warmth of the sun, the magic of beaches, and the strength of human resilience. But our journey still has an epic twist ahead. Get ready to swap tropical heat for icy vastness. We're about to embark on a trip to Alaska, a wild and majestic territory where life adapts to the rhythm of ice and snow. There, we'll unravel the mysteries of an untouched world, full of extraordinary animals, breathtaking landscapes, and survival stories that defy comprehension. Alaska awaits us, a realm where divine creation takes its most grand and mysterious form. Bundle up, because we're heading to a place where the silence of mountains and the roar of glaciers remind us how small we are before Earth's immensity. Alaska, a realm of ice and wildlife. In the distance, a white and blue horizon stretches into seemingly endless vastness. Welcome to Alaska, a frozen kingdom where the sky dances in shades of green and purple, and the wind whispers tales of a land untouched since the dawn of time. Here, the majesty of divine creation is tangible in every towering mountain, gleaming glacier, and creature that defies nature's relentless forces to survive. Picture yourself in this icy scene, where the northern lights illuminate the sky in a surreal display. It's as if God painted a masterpiece directly across the heavens, leaving us in awe of his creation's grandeur. In that moment, you realize Alaska isn't just a place, it's an experience that transforms your soul. For thousands of years, Alaska's native peoples, like the Inupiat and Yupik, inhabited these lands, forging a deep spiritual connection with their surroundings. Through sustainable hunting and fishing practices, they not only survived, but thrived in one of the world's harshest environments. Visualize a snow-covered village where igloos and wooden cabins hold stories passed down through generations. Imagine the daily struggle to hunt seals on the ice or fish for salmon in frozen rivers. Every meal here is a tribute to human endurance, a celebration of an adaptability that can only be seen as a divine gift. And here are this land's most iconic inhabitants, grizzly bears fishing for salmon in turbulent rivers. Bald eagles soaring majestically through the sky. Moose walking silently through snow-laden forests. Every creature here seems perfectly suited to an environment as beautiful as it is unforgiving. Can you picture a grizzly bear nearly 10 feet tall with razor-sharp claws, yet moving with a dancer's grace? Or the sight of a lone wolf howling at a full moon in utter isolation? These moments aren't just beautiful scenes, they're reminders of the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. Then night falls, and Alaska offers one of Earth's greatest spectacles, the Northern Lights. Imagine gazing at the sky as vibrant colors twist and weave, as if the universe itself was celebrating its existence. This phenomenon isn't just scientific, it's spiritual. It's impossible not to feel a quiet reverence, an acknowledgement that we're witnessing something far greater than ourselves. If there's a place where you can tangibly feel God's presence, it's here in Alaska. Every detail, from the vastness of glaciers to the resilience of the creatures inhabiting this land, points to a masterpiece that could only have been crafted by divine hands. As a narrator, it's my duty not just to describe this, but to make you feel it in every word. But now, it's time to warm up, to trade the biting cold for sun-soaked beaches and the vibrant energy of a state that symbolizes innovation and glamour. Get ready to travel to California, where mountains meet the sea and dreams come true in a place that never stops shining. Let's head together to uncover the next chapter of this epic journey. California, the glow of sun and innovation. Beneath a vibrant blue sky where the sun never seems to rest, California beckons with its irresistible charm. It's a land where the golden glow of beaches meets the gleaming spirit of technological innovation. Here, dreams are born and come to life, whether on the Pacific's waves or in Silicon Valley's workshops. Welcome to California, a place where lush nature and human ingenuity meet in perfect harmony. Since the gold rush days, California has been a symbol of opportunity. Imagine men and women crossing deserts and mountains, chasing a shimmering promise, facing unimaginable challenges to reach what they called El Dorado. It wasn't just physical gold they sought, but the chance to transform their lives. That same energy persists today. Stepping into this state, you feel the pulse of a place that constantly reinvents the future. From the iconic Golden Gate Bridge, standing as a testament to human ingenuity, to the serene wineries of Napa Valley, every corner of California tells a story of dreams and achievements. The California coast is a spectacle all its own. Picture yourself walking the golden sands of Santa Monica or watching the sunset in Malibu, where the horizon melts into shades of orange and pink. And of course, the massive waves of Mavericks, where surfers defy the impossible in a dance with the ocean. There's something transformative about gazing at the Pacific. It's like staring into eternity. The sound of the waves and the salty sea breeze remind us of the vastness of God's creation and our smallness amid such grandeur. If there's one place that defines California, it's Hollywood. Imagine the thrill of strolling the Walk of Fame, where names that shape the entertainment industry shine like stars beneath your feet. Think of the movie studios like Universal and Warner Bros., where stories that captivated generations came to life. But Hollywood is more than glitz. It's the epicenter of creativity, a place where stories are carefully woven to inspire, move, and transform. And as a storyteller, I can't help but feel a special connection to this land that celebrates the power of narrative. Now, we head north to a place where the future isn't just imagined, it's built. Silicon Valley is the cradle of technological innovation, where brilliant minds gather to create the tools shaping the modern world. Imagine garages turned into invention labs, where companies like Apple, Google, and Tesla got their start. Think of the programmers and engineers working tirelessly to solve tomorrow's problems. This is a place where creativity and technology collide to change the world. And we can't talk about California without its lush nature. Yosemite National Park, with its towering giant sequoias and waterfalls cascading in breathtaking drops, it's a living testament to the majesty of divine creation. Picture yourself walking among trees over 2,000 years old. They're not just witnesses to time, they're symbols of resilience and survival. And gazing at the sky through the canopy of leaves, you feel a deep connection to something greater, something eternal. California is more than a state. It's a state of mind. It's a place that challenges us to dream big, work hard, and never give up. Whether in the vastness of its landscapes or the infectious energy of its cities, California reminds us that the impossible is just a matter of perspective. Now we leave California's sunny glow behind and head to a land where water and wildlife dance in harmony. The Great Lakes region awaits with its vast expanses of freshwater, rich biodiversity, and stories of connection between humanity and nature. Before we dive into this incredible journey through the Great Lakes, a quick reminder. Have you checked if you're subscribed to the channel yet? Here at Our Planet, you'll follow epic documentaries, exploring the world's most fascinating places with breathtaking visuals. Hit that subscribe button now and make sure you don't miss the upcoming episodes of this unforgettable journey. All right, here we go. Get ready to explore the aquatic wonders of one of North America's most stunning ecosystems. Let's go together. The Great Lakes region, wonders of water and life. Welcome to one of North America's most captivating wonders, a place where water turns to poetry and life dances in a spectacle of biodiversity, the Great Lakes region. This vast freshwater system spanning 5 main lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario, is a natural gem that transcends borders and generations. The Great Lakes aren't just a natural resource, they're a living history. Imagine, thousands of years ago, the relentless force of glaciers carving out these massive water basins. When the ice finally retreated, it left behind a legacy of beauty and purpose. These lakes are so vast that standing on their shores, the horizon feels infinite, like an ocean. For Native American tribes, these waters were more than a source of sustenance. They were sacred, a gift from God to protect and revere. The First Nations that inhabited this region left behind deep stories that still echo along these shores today. The largest of the five, Lake Superior, is a force of nature. Its crystal-clear waters mirror the sky like a perfect reflection, yet they hide unfathomable mysteries. With a maximum depth of over 2,300 feet, it's the deepest and coldest of the Great Lakes, hosting an impressive array of marine life. Let me share an intriguing tidbit. Lake Superior holds so many shipwrecks, it's called the Graveyard of the Great Lakes. Each wreck is a time capsule, telling stories of relentless storms and interrupted journeys. Now close your eyes for a moment and picture the incredible variety of life thriving in these waters. From tiny freshwater fish to majestic birds like the bald eagle, the Great Lakes are a haven for biodiversity. But it's not just wildlife that flourishes here. Entire communities depend on these waters for their livelihood. Did you know these lakes provide drinking water to over 40 million people? It's a reminder of how nature, even in its grandeur, is also fragile. It's our responsibility to care for this divine creation that gives so much without asking for anything in return. Let me share something with you. The Great Lakes region is an invitation to reflection. As we walk its shores or sail its waters, we're reminded that we're connected to something far greater than ourselves. Every drop of water, every living creature, is part of an ecosystem that relies on balance. And we, as part of creation, have a duty to protect that balance. Now, we leave behind the calm, lush waters of the Great Lakes region to embark on a new journey. Our next destination is a place where the earth literally breathes. Get ready to explore Yellowstone National Park, a natural miracle where geysers, hot springs, and vibrant wildlife await. Prepare to be amazed by the power and beauty of one of Earth's oldest and most fascinating ecosystems. Let's continue this epic journey together. Yellowstone Park, a miracle of nature. When we talk about Yellowstone, we're not just talking about a national park. We're talking about a natural sanctuary, a place where the earth pulses, breathes, and reminds us at every moment of the majestic force of divine creation. Welcome to Yellowstone, a true miracle of nature. Picture the year 1872. The United States, still expanding, decided to protect a vast 3,471 square mile area brimming with natural riches and unique geological wonders. That's how Yellowstone became the world's first national park, a milestone in environmental preservation history. Here, geysers dance in improbable patterns, hot springs paint landscapes worthy of artwork, and wildlife reminds us we're in untamed territory, where humans are just visitors. Let's start with the sound of the earth. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the roar of a geyser erupting. Old Faithful, the most famous of them, shoots boiling water over 100 feet high with near supernatural punctuality. It's as if the earth is speaking to us, showing its strength and vitality. Did you know Yellowstone is home to over 60% of the world's geysers? These phenomena remind us we're atop a massive dormant volcano, a caldera that could, in theory, alter human history if it awoke. But don't worry, each geyser eruption is a controlled spectacle, almost like a release for the power held beneath our feet. Now, imagine a sprawling field where bison graze calmly, oblivious to the modern world's frenzy. Yellowstone hosts one of North America's largest bison populations. These majestic giants, nearly driven to extinction, are a symbol of resilience and renewal. And the wolves, they're the conductors of this wild symphony. Their reintroduction to Yellowstone in the 1990s changed the park's entire ecosystem. They control deer and elk populations, allowing vegetation to regenerate and restoring lost harmony. It's as if the Creator's hand is bringing balance back. Let's walk now to the hot springs. Grand Prismatic Spring, the largest of all, might be the most mesmerizing. Its vibrant colors, from deep blue to fiery orange, are created by thermophilic microorganisms thriving in extreme heat. If this isn't a masterpiece of creation, what is? Every color, every detail reminds us that God is the ultimate artist, crafting beauty even in the toughest conditions. Let me be straight with you. Yellowstone is an invitation to humility. It's impossible to walk its trails without feeling the weight of our insignificance before divine grandeur. Every geyser, every animal, every landscape challenges us to reflect on what truly matters. Have you ever felt it? Stood before something so grand that your only response was gratitude? But our journey doesn't end here. If Yellowstone is the wild heart of the land, our next destination is the pulsing beat of the Pacific. Get ready to dive into an archipelago where nature sings in every color and form. Hawaii, with its golden beaches, active volcanoes, and a culture steeped in ancestry, awaits us. Let's explore the untouched beauty of this paradise together. Buckle up. Hawaii will be an experience like no other. Hawaii, the untouched beauty of the Pacific. Imagine a place where the sky kisses the sea, where volcanoes shape the land with primordial force, and where culture pulses with the energy of its ancestors. Welcome to Hawaii, an archipelago that's far more than paradise beaches. It's a true sanctuary of divine creation. Hawaii was born from fire. Millions of years ago, a hotspot beneath the Earth's crust began forming islands through volcanic eruptions. This process continues today with Kilauea, one of the world's most active volcanoes, sculpting new land. Think about this for a moment. As we speak, the Earth is being created before our eyes. Isn't it mind-blowing to witness something so timeless? The Hawaiian Islands, 8 main ones in total, form one of the most isolated places on Earth, nestled in the heart of the Pacific. And that distance from the mainland is what makes Hawaii so unique. An unmatched biodiversity, species found nowhere else, and landscapes that feel like a dream. But what truly makes Hawaii special isn't just its natural beauty, it's the spirit of its people. Aloha is more than a greeting. It's a way of life, an invitation to live with respect, love, and harmony with others and nature. Did you know Hawaii has a rich, often overlooked history? Before Europeans arrived, the archipelago was ruled by kings and queens who revered balance with the environment. The Kapu system, for instance, regulated fishing and farming to ensure resources were preserved for future generations. You can't talk about Hawaii without its volcanoes. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park on the Big Island is a breathtaking spectacle. Here, you can walk across solidified lava fields, feel the Earth's heat, and witness God's ongoing power in action. Mauna Loa, the world's largest volcano by volume, looms as a silent giant, while Kilauea shows its strength with constant eruptions. The connection to the divine is palpable. It's like watching the Genesis creation unfold in real time. Beyond the volcanoes, Hawaii is a biodiversity paradise. Dense tropical forests blanket the islands, home to birds like the nene, a goose species found only here. And the ocean. It's a world of its own. Hawaii's crystal-clear waters teem with colorful corals. Sea turtles. Humpback whales that travel thousands of miles to give birth in the region's warm seas. Imagine being on a boat, hearing a whale's song echo across the ocean. It's impossible not to be moved by such grandeur. I'll confess, while writing about Hawaii, I felt a deep connection to the idea that this archipelago is a tangible reminder of God's care and creativity. Every detail, from the flow of lava to the rhythm of the waves, testifies to the perfection of creation. And you, have you ever wondered? What would it be like to walk through a place where the earth is still forming? Where every corner of nature seems to whisper tales of eternity? Here you've seen that the United States of America is far more than skyscrapers and highways. The grandeur of its cities blends with the majesty of nature. Every destination we explored revealed little-known secrets, surprising stories, and breathtaking landscapes. But the journey doesn't end here. Subscribe to our channel and discover the extraordinary around the world. Now, get ready to uncover the 10 hidden wonders of the Netherlands, already on your screen, waiting for you. Click now and explore a surprising side of this fascinating country. Places that defy logic, beauties that seem unreal, and curiosities that will hold your attention to the very last second. Don't let the next chapter of your curiosity wait. See you there. Hugs, and until the next adventure.